Okay, this is page 165 of the notes spiral. We're doing a two-sample hypothesis test. This is the second scenario. So in June 2002, the Journal of Applied Psychology reported a study that examined whether the content of TV shows influenced the ability of viewers to recall brand names of items featured in commercials. The researchers randomly assigned volunteers to watch one of three programs, each containing the same commercials. One of the programs had violent content, another sexual content, and the third neutral content. After the shows ended, the subjects were asked to recall the brands of products that were advertised. Results are summarized below. And obviously, this is going to be something of interest to the advertiser because they're going to want to know with what type of program to spend most of their advertising budget on. So is there a difference in ad memory between programs with neutral content and those with violent content? So we're going to focus on neutral and violent. Test an appropriate hypothesis and state where, at your conclusion, what decision should be made. So we're looking for, is there a difference? So first one, mu1 equals mu2. Great. Mu1 does not equal mu2 because it's a difference. I said let mu1 equal the true population mean number of brands recalled while watching neutral. So it's very important that we know which one we're using. And over here, mu2, true population mean content recalled while watching violent. So we have neutral and versus violent from mu1 and mu2. Random assignment was given for both, so we're good to go on that. Condition checked. For each one of them, we had 108. So 108 divided by 0.1. Reasonable to assume that there are at least 1,080 people watching shows with neutral and at least 1,080 watching shows with violent. Reasonable to assume that the number of ads recalled by one group is not affected by the other group. Reasonable to assume that those are independent populations. Number 4, both cases, we have 108, which is greater than 30, so the distribution of means is normal by central limit theorem. So now I need to go ahead and enter this data in the calculator. So we're going to go stat, arrow over to test, and scroll down to number 4, two-sample t-test. Make sure stats is highlighted, press enter. All right, 4, neutral content, because we went mu1 first. Since we went mu1 first, I'm going to start with that, 3.17. Standard deviation, 1.77. There was 108. For violent content, we had 2.08. That was the XL2, the X2. And then we have a standard deviation of 1.87. And we also had 108. This time we have mu1 does not equal mu2. We never pool. And we end up getting a very, very small p-value. And our equation is what we've talked about before. X1 minus X2, S1 squared over N1 plus S2 squared over N2. Make sure you get in the habit of writing your degrees of freedom down. So 2.13, 0.36. And because this is a not equal, we have to do the 2 times. So anytime it's a not equal, do the 2 times. So 2 times P, T is greater than X bar 1 minus X bar 2, S1, S2. Remember, you have to square standard deviations before you add them. So that's what's happening down here in the denominator. We got a almost 0. It's got 4 zeros. Anytime you have 4 zeros, I just write 0. P-value is 0. less than 0.05, we reject the null. There is sufficient evidence at alpha equal 0.05 to suggest the difference in true population mean of brands recalled while watching neutral content is greater than watching violent content on average. And we always have to have this simplified from now on. I want you to write it simplified. What did you find out? More brands were recalled watching neutral content rather than violent content. That's simple. Okay. All right. We will do the confidence interval for this one on the next video.